Welcome once again to another important session. This is SAHOO and you are watching SAHOO'S tutorial. In this YouTube video, I will be covering some most expected MCQ questions for the upcoming UGC NET set on English literature. This is from your Unit 5 from the syllabus, and the topic is here language, basic concepts, theories and pedagogy, English in use. So let's get into the video. Here is your first question on your screen. But before starting the session, I would like to request all of you, please do subscribe. If you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe my channel SAHOO'S tutorial and stay tuned to my channel so that you can get more videos. So here is the first question on your screen. The first question is here: dash is the change of a words form depending on its grammatical function. Dash is the change of a words form depending on its grammatical function. Inflection, accidents, occurrence, flexing. So it is inflection. Inflection is the change of words form depending on its grammatical function. Let's look at this explanation here, that in linguistic morphology, inflection is a process of word formation in which a word is modified to express different grammatical categories such as tense, case, voice, aspect, person, number, gender, mood, animacy and definiteness. The inflection of verbs is called conjugation, and one can refer to the inflection of nouns, adjectives, adverbs, pronouns and blah blah blah. An inflection expresses grammatical categories with affixation such as prefix, suffix, infix, circumfix and transfix, and apophony as Indo-European abelt or other modification. So here inflection means it is the change of words from depending on its grammatical function. Okay, moving to the next question. Montek published what soon became known as Montek grammar in which of these papers? So these three are papers of him. He had delivered these three papers. So here 1970s English as a formal language, 1970s universal grammar, or in 1973s the proper treatment of quantification of ordinary English, that is PTQ, UG and EFL. So Montek published what soon became known as Montek grammar. So in between all these things, okay, it was that in the 1970s English as a formal language became known as Montek grammar. So here E is the right answer, EFL, that is English as a formal language. A pidgin, you know what is a pidgin? Pidgin and Creole. So pidgin becomes the first here. Pidgin pidgin is a linguistic communication that comprised of components of two or more other languages and each used for communication among people. So it is true. It can also be called a business language. Yeah, for the purpose of business language it is called, and it is not a fast language. It is not a fast language. It is true. It is not a fast language. True. Whereas Creole is a language that was a fast and a pidgin. So Creole was a fast a pidgin but has transformed and become a fast language. So here all these statements are true. All the above statements are true. So what is pidgin? Pidgin is a linguistic communication that comprised of components of two or more other than language and is used for communication among people. And it can also be called a business language. It is not a fast language, whereas Creole is a language that was first a pidgin but it has transformed and become a fast language. Which Swiss linguist and professor's course in general linguistics is based on notes taken by students in his courses? Ferdinand de Saussure, Theodore Euphrates, Charles Bailey, Theodore Benfey. So it was Ferdinand de Saussure. Which dialect came into mainstream during the Central Middle English period? So during the Central Middle English period, it was it London, Anglo-Norman, West Saxon, Scottish? So it was London. So London dialect was popular during the Middle English period. So it's London. How many dialects were there? There were 4, 5, 6, 6, 3. It was 4 dialects. First was your Northumbrian, you have Mercian, you have Kentish and West Saxon. These were for 1, 2, 3, 4. Northumbrian, Mercian, Kentish and West Saxon. These were 4 dialects in Old English. Phonology is concerned with the abstract, whereas phonetics is concerned with the physical properties of sounds. Yes, phonology the study. So that's why it is the abstract thing, whereas phonetics is concerned with the physical properties of sounds. True. In phonetics, we can see infinite realizations. For example, every time you say a P, it will slightly different than the other times you have said it. However, in phonology, all productions are the same sound within the language phoneme inventory. Therefore, even though every P is produced slightly different every time, the actual sound is the same. And phonemes are the meaningfully different sounds units in a language. The smallest part or the smallest units of a sound is called phoneme. It is very true. So A, B, C, 3, all of the above are correct. Next question. The practice of leaving a sound out when you say a word or a group of words. For example, when you say it quickly in ordinary conversation. When you are leaving a sound out. So it was elision, backing, gapping, all of the above. So it is called actually elision. Next question. Dash is a combination of two adjacent vowel sounds. Combination of two adjacent vowel sounds within the same syllable. Technically, it is a vowel with two different targets. That is, the tongue moves during the pronunciation of the vowel. So here, was it diphthongs, cardinal vowels, long vowels? So it is diphthongs. Diphthongs is a combination of two adjacent vowel sounds within the same syllable. Technically, it is a vowel with two different targets. That is, the tongue moves during the pronunciation of the vowel. Next question. Dash is a mishearing or misinterpretation of a phrase in a way that gives it a new meaning. It is most often created by a person listening to a poem or a song. The listener being unable to hear a lyric clearly, and that's why he substitutes word that sounds similar and makes some kind of sense or mistake or mishears. What is it? Mondegreen, gap, weaking, snowing. It is called mondegreen. It is a mondegreen. So A is the right option here. Moving to next question. Who was the first to realize that Sanskrit had much in common with other Indo-European languages and that they were therefore related? Sir William Jones, Adalbert Kuhn, Claude Lévi-Strauss, Lacan. So it was Sir William Jones who first realized that Sanskrit had much in common with other Indo-European language. So A is the right answer over here. Moving to the next question. Dash is in any customer tradition usually a choice of phrasing or even a single word that distinguishes one group of people from other. Distinguishes one group of people from the other. What is in customer tradition? Shibboleth, accidents, occurrence, flexing. So it is shibboleth. Shibboleth is any customer tradition, usually choice of phrasing or even a single word that distinguishes one group of people from another. It is shibboleth. A sign, the basic unit of language, is psychological entity, whereas signifier, that is the sound pattern, and the signifier, the concept, the image, are arbitrarily linked. True. There is arbitrariness. The notion that thought is determined by language. Thought is determined by language. While few linguists nowadays accept this strict link, there would seem to be some truth to the postulation of the two American anthropologists or linguists. Who are they? That the thought is determined by language. So language, so here thought and language, it was Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, Chomsky's theory, SAHOO'S theory. It is Sapir and Whorf's hypothesis. So A is the right answer here. The post-structuralist draws which of the following consequences from the study of the language? What does post-structuralist say? Meaning is never fully present in any one signifier, but it is infinitely deferred or suspended. True. Meaning is contextual, that is affected by related words. True. There is always an excess of meaning. True. So here 1, 2 and 3 are right. A sociolinguistics is the descriptive study of the effect of any and all aspects of society, including cultural norms and expectation context, on the way language is used and society's effect on language. The social aspects of language were in the modern sense first studied by Indian Japanese linguists in the 1930s and also by Louis Cochet in Switzerland in the early 90s, but none received much attention in the West until much later. True. The study of language variation is concerned with the social constraints determining language in its contextual environment. Code switching is the term given to the use of different varieties of language in different social situations. True. So here all of the above are correct. The process by which speaker attune or adapt, so adaptability, their linguistic behavior in light of their interlocutors' behavior and their attitudes towards their interlocutors, encompasses both convergence with or divergence from interlocutors' norms. What is it called? Accommodation, acquiring, active knowledge, none of the. So adaptability means here accommodation. He is accommodating. So here accommodation is the right option here. Moving to next question. A subgroup of variety of language associated with a particular geographical area is called regional dialect. It's called regional dialect. Next question. Who did originate and develop transformational generative grammar? TG. Transformational generative grammar, was he Noam Chomsky, Norman Franklin, Aviva Chomsky, Ferdinand de Saussure? So TG, that is transformational generative grammar, was originated and developed by Noam Chomsky. TG. Next question. In which book Noam Chomsky first introduced the world to the transformational generative grammar or TG? Syntactic structure, knowledge of language, aspects of the theory of syntax, the minimalist program. So it was syntactic structure. In that book, syntactic structure, Noam Chomsky first introduced the world to the term that is transformational generative grammar or TG. Next question. Constrained grammar. Constrained grammar is a methodological paradigm for natural language processing, NLP, for natural language processing. Who launched it? Fred Carlson, Norman Finkelstein, Aviva Chomsky, Ferdinand de Saussure. So it was Fred Carlson had launched it. Constrained grammar. Next question. Dash is a word which serves the purpose of indicating a grammatical category or a relationship. Serves the purpose of indicating a grammatical category or relationship. Function word, empty morph, closed class, irregular. So a function word is a word which serves the purpose of indicating grammar category. Next question. Let's look at this explanation here. In linguistics, function words, also called functors, are words that have little lexical meaning or have ambiguous meaning and express grammatical relationship among other words within the sentence or specify the attitude mood of the speaker. They signal the structural relationship that words have to one another and are the glue that hold sentence together. Thus, they form important elements in the structure of sentence. According to Chomsky, in his aspects of the theory of syntax, that was published in the year 1965 work, that is aspects of the theory of syntax, dash is the abstract ability, the mental ability or the abstract ability of an individual to speak the language which he or she has learned as a native language in his or her childhood. So it's a competence, learning, schooling. So the abstract ability or the mental ability is the competence. So here A is the right option here. Moving to next question. A variety of language which is different pronunciation, grammar or vocabulary than the standard language of the culture known as dialect. True. It's very true. It's true or false? True. Individuals who study sociolects are called sociolinguists, ethnolinguists, sociolects, none of the above. So who study sociolects, they are called sociolinguists. A are the right options here. Chomsky coined and popularized the term deep structure as well as surface structure in the early 1960s, 50s, 40s, 60s. In 1960s, deep structure and surface structure were popularized and coined by Chomsky in 1960s. Dash is a unit of organization for a sequence of speech. Unit of organization here, syllable. Syllable is a unit of organization for a sequence of speech sounds. Transformational algebra, you know Helmholtz law, Louis Helmholtz law, was the first introduced to general linguistics by the structural linguists. Here, Louis Helmholtz law. Louis Helmholtz law had introduced, that is a transformational algebra. So A is the right option here. Moving to question number 29 here. The deep structure, that is Noam Chomsky, our linguist, expression is a theoretical construct that seeks to unify several related symbols, rules, sound, structure. So here, that deep structure of a linguistic expression is a theoretical construct that seeks to unify several related structures. D is the answer here. Next question. In sociolinguistics, and dash is a manner of pronunciation. That is, an accent is a manner of pronunciation. Pronunciation peculiar to a particular individual. So accent differs. That's why in sociolinguistics, an accent is a manner of pronunciation peculiar to a particular individual, location, or a nation. Accent differs, okay, as per individual, location, and nation. Subject verb concord. Subject verb agreement or concord is when the subject of a sentence or the verb of a sentence agree. So A is the answer here. In linguistics, morphology is the study of words, sentence, symbols. Morphology, logy when start log, morphology here. Morphology is the study of words. So A is the study of words. So A is the right option here. Next question. In explanation. In linguistics, morphology is the study of words, how they are formed and their relationship to other words in the same language. It analyzes the structure of words and parts of words such as stems, root words, prefix, and suffix. Moving to the next question. Idiolect. Idiolect is an individual's distinctive and unique use of notes, research, language. So idiolect is an individual's distinctive, unique use of language. C is the right option here. Sentence patterns are made of phrases and what? Sentence patterns are made of clauses, forms, sound, symbols. Sentence patterns are made of phrases and clauses. Yeah. Next question. Who first mentioned immediate constituent analysis, which was later developed further by Rule and Wells? Leonard Bloomfield, Edward Safir, Jellic Harris, Father and the Saussure. So it was immediate constituent analysis was developed by Leonard Bloomfield. Which of these is correct about phoneme? In phonology and linguistics, phoneme is a unit of sound that can distinguish one word from another in a particular language. True. The two major phoneme categories are vowels and consonants. True. Each phoneme prescribes a sequence of sound wave modulation which corresponds to sensory data. True. So all above are correct. D is the right answer here. Which of these are true about phonology? The word phonology comes from ancient Greek words. True. Phonology is typically defined as the study of speech sounds of a language or language. Phoneme, that's why speech sounds. Laws governing them, particularly the laws governing and the composition and combination of speech sounds in language. Phonology is often distinguished from phonetics. True. Natural phonology is the theory based on the publication of its proponent of David Stampy. All the above are true. Here, all the above are true. E is the right answer here. The words elfin and blatant beast. Elfin and blatant beasts came from Milton, no. Shakespeare, no. Spenser, Chaucer. So it came from Spenser's The Fairy Queen. So from the book there is the Fairy Queen. The words like elfin and that is blatant beast came from Spenser. It was coined in the book that is the Fairy Queen by Spenser. So here C is the right answer here. 37. Moving to next question. Malapropism refers to the mistaken use of a word in place of a similar sounding one, often with an amusing effect. The term malapropism was coined by Thomas Brown, no. Sheridan, Moore, no. Coleridge, no. It was Richard Sheridan in the work The Rivals. In the work Rivals that was published in the year 1775. In that book, a malapropism was coined. Moving to the next question. Pandemonium is a hybrid word. It's a mix of word. Hybrid mixture of Greek word that is pan. It means all. Whereas pseudo-Latin word demonium, which refers to what? Devil land, hell, earth, Satan. So it is devil land. So demonium means devil land, whereas pan means all. It's a hybrid word made from Greek and Latin word, pandemonium. It was created in Milton's work, that is you have there in the Paradise Lost. The word pandemonium was a contribution of whom? Milton, Chaucer, Shakespeare, Spenser. It was Milton's in Milton's The Paradise Lost. Next question. In which play Shakespeare introduced the word Gianni, derived from the Latin term Gianni, that came from Gianni, a derivative of the Italian name Giovanni? Cymbeline, Love, Labour's Lost, Cornelius, Hamlet. So it was here Love's Labour's Lost. From the Love, Labour's Lost, the word Giovanni. So here Gianni derived to Shakespeare. So B is the right answer over here. Now you identify the wrong pair. Salad dish, Antonio Cleopatra. Antonio Cleopatra, very true. In Antonio Cleopatra, the phrase salad dish appears and give the devil his due. Henry the IV, very true. And wild goose chase does not it does not appear, okay, in Richard II. So here, a naked truth appear in love labors lost, true. So here this is the wrong pair here. Wild goose and salad dish appears in Antonio Cleopatra, whereas give the devil his due appears in Henry the IV part 1, whereas naked truth also appears in love labors lost. Now what is salad dish? Let's look at here. Salad dish is the inexperienced Shakespearean idiom. Salad day is a Shakespearean idiom referring to a period of carefree innocence, idealism, and pleasure associated with youth, inexperience. The phrase attributed to William Shakespeare, who made the first known use of it in 606 play Antony and Cleopatra, in the speech at the end of the Act 1, in which Cleopatra is regretting her youthful dalliances with Julius Caesar. She says, "My salad days when I was green in judgment, cold in blood, to say as I said then." So it is the inexperience he's talking about. Okay. Who is the author of the Classical Dictionary of the Vulgar Tongue? Samuel Johnson, no. Francis Grote, Stephen Gosson, none of these. Francis Grote has written the Classical Dictionary of the Vulgar Tongue. Moving to next question. His dark materials is a term coined by Milton, a phrase coined by Milton, who is the author of the novel with the same title. So there is a novel called His Dark Materials. Okay, who had written that novel? Huxley, Conrad, Philip Pullman, D.H. Lawrence. It is Philip Pullman. Philip Pullman has also written a novel called His Dark Materials, whereas the term His Dark Materials was coined by Milton. Moving to next question. Danish, Maori, Kalto, Swedish, Yoruba. These languages are examples for isolating no, syntactic no, analytic, both A and B. So it is analytic. Examples of analytic. Next question. Who coined the following words like hot-headed, cherubic, loquacious, impassive, moonstruck, or unadventurous, adjustments, or idol worship? Spencer, no. Shakespeare, no. Bible translators, no. It is Milton, cherubic, loquacious, and impassive, moonstruck. These are coined by by Milton. Who coined? Milton had coined these words. Okay. Next question. Crystal clear, middle management, nuclear family, cosmetic surgery are examples for collocation pair, bound morpheme, minimal pairs. It is collocation pair. Crystal clear, middle management, nuclear family, these are collocation pair. Next question. The linguistic process of derivational morphology, in which complex words are formed by stringing together morphemes without changing them in spelling or phonetics, is known as compounding, no. Inflection, no. There is agglutinations or neologism. It is agglutination. So here C is the right option here. Next question. Which term is used to denote new lexeme candidates which, if they gain wide usage over time, become part of a language lexicon? Neologisms, collocations, compound words, aggolism. So here it is neologisms. Neologism is a term used to denote new lexeme candidates which, if they gain wide usage over time, become part of a language lexicon. So here A is the right option here. So to wind up the session, let's have here the last question of today. It is question number 50. American English belongs to the language family. Which family? Indo-Aryan family, Indo-European family, Bolvic family, none of these. So here American English belongs to the language family of Indo-European family. So thank you once again for watching this video.